Good afternoon, everybody. Wanted to start out today and just, I know what it looks like sometimes when a cart comes out for a player at a training camp practice. There can be a lot of speculation. I know we tried to get some information to you guys in regards to Jerry Tillery. So he did get a pretty significant laceration kind of on the back of his leg there, lower calf area, that although very concerning, he is going to be, fully recovered. He did have to get a couple stitches on that, but as far as the major injuries that maybe our fans or you folks might have been worried about, that is not the case. He'll be back. Just got to let those stitches heal, and he'll be ready to roll. So Jerry is going to be just fine, and just wanted to make sure I clarified that as we get into kind of a pseudo game week here. So I'll turn it over to you guys. Yeah, I'm not. Look, I think it's very important to make sure we are articulating, maybe not with 100% exact accuracy line by line, but we do have a football team here and a roster, and they play certain positions, and there is a depth at which that has to take place because you can only put in 11 at a time. But I'm glad we were able to get that out and circulating. Yeah, so we've got, we met on everything, went through the whole roster. There's a couple kind of bumps and bruises. We're going to kind of see how guys turn over throughout the early part of this week. Over-communicate that to the players first, and I think I get you guys again on Thursday, and I'll update you guys on kind of the plan going into the game, with as much transparency as I can give you. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's just, although it's a new week, although he's stacked some good days together, he's had some, great learning moments that he's come back the next day and showed immediate improvement on. From the time he got here in the spring, post-draft to now, he's already improved so much. I can't say enough about the job Josh and Grant and really the other quarterbacks, Sam, Nick, and Jaron, are doing as a support system for each other, and vice versa, JJ with those other three guys. I think it's unique how you've got really four guys in that room on totally different places in their quarterback journey, but yet all running the same offense, learning the same plays, some with experience, some with none in the system, and those guys are really just growing on a daily basis. I think I'm just excited to continue to see kind of the snap in and snap out execution details of doing the job. It's not always the result of a play when you're wearing a red jersey that ultimately matters. Is was your footwork right? Were your feet and eyes working together, eyes in the right spot, the rhythm and timing at which you made your decision, then the throw location. Did you make guys work for it? Did you throw it away from a defender? Did you put the optimal amount of touch or ball placement? There's so many layers to it. In the moment, you don't want to overcoach it. You want to let guys play. But as we get into the meeting room and then really try to stress that daily progress, there's certainly a lot of opportunities for that. Yeah, he's, I don't know exactly where he's at in his progression, working his way back, but I hope we get him back as soon as possible because really want to see him get an opportunity getting back out. And he was doing a really good job. When we got him in the spring, it was kind of like, hey, I'm learning this. I can't wait for training camp. And right about the time you're seeing him feel comfortable within the plays and really absorbing that opportunities at the tight end position, we lose him for a couple days here, so we'll get him back as soon as we can and hopefully throw him into the mix there competing at the tight end spot. Yeah, glad you asked. So Lewis will, he picked up a little bit of his workload today, walk through, and then he'll be eased back in to individual, and then hope to get him some work throughout the rest of the week and see him play on Saturday. There is a general plan for not only the quarterbacks but all of our guys, and we'll keep you posted. It's not a matter of any kind of game planning secrets for this game more so than maybe any other preseason game we've ever had. It's more about communicating directly to the player, so they hear it from myself or coaches first before, obviously, it's out there in the world for them to read about. It's really a matter of, we're still in training camp mode. I mean, today's practice and tomorrow will be fully padded. We'll be, continuing to, kind of move forward with our competitions. This isn't by any stretch a in-season type of day where you're really thinking about, hey, we got a Saturday game, we got to be smart. No, we're going, competing, really trying to get back to right back into that training camp mode. And our guys were super flexible with the kind of the weather and storms that rolled in here, last night. And I'm fortunate to be able to have a schedule where we can adapt, still get the night practice in a few days, and not miss any pads days throughout training camp. So we've got a good plan for the week, and as that information kind of gets out to the players, you guys will receive it as well. Yeah, every year is a new year, and we've kind of handled it differently based upon, the team we originally kind of started coaching in 22. We had a plan for, got off to a fast start. Thought we needed to change it a little bit in regards to maybe playing a couple more guys that we wouldn't have previously. Last year didn't get off to a great start, but none of those things really matter. It's about this year's team, how we've handled training camp, a little bit more from a physicality standpoint, a little bit more bumps and bruises here and there because of how it's going. But my hope is we've got a good group of guys to go out there and be competitive with on Saturday. As a player? Oh, I just was so excited, and you get all those butterflies, and then you get out there and you realize it's the same old game you've been playing. It's just happening faster, maybe some different looks, So I do remember, especially with how intricate, defenses can be in practice. Sometimes you can get some much cleaner looks in the game, simplified to some extent. But other games you go out there and teams want to test their stuff out, so you never really quite know. So there's always some uncertainty. There's not 4 or 5 games of inventory of tape that you kind of can just go to work on to give yourself that quiet in mind and comfort. You're really just kind of going out there trying to run some core, simple plays, core philosophy plays that give guys a chance to compete by doing their job on an individual basis. And through the process of that, you hope you come out with some success moving the ball, scoring points, getting some stops on defense, good, clean plays in the kicking game. So it's about the competition. It's about kind of building individually on maybe work guys have done out here on the field. But at the same time, you want to move the ball. You want to be efficient. You want to just play good football. I think wants to be the theme for us throughout the preseason. Yeah, I've already seen on a few snaps. I know you guys have as well. Like the benefit of these guys having that skill set to maybe a play that by the design or bad play call that I got or great call by Flo. The best scenario could either be a scramble, chance to make a playoff schedule, or a throwaway and save the down. Those guys have demonstrated the ability to do both with their athleticism and still remaining passers as they get outside the pocket and attack. And of course, to your point, there's always some times where would it have been a sack, would it have not been a sack? We'll have plenty of time to find out the answers to those questions when we get into the games. And I just love seeing it. I love seeing our guys at the receiver, tight end, back position have to really understand that these plays are going to come to life, and how do we react? What's our discipline of where we need to be to space out the field and maximize the ops, as well as the line, knowing I'm going to have to strain to finish, maybe another click or two longer than than I'm used to, based upon these guys are extending plays. That means playing through the echo of the whistle, and that all circles back in a different way to that play style thing. What's it look like? How many times can we guys have 11 guys going to the echo of the whistle, legally clean, but physical and finishing? But it's been fun. It's been fun to watch. It's been good for our defense, too, watching those guys plaster in coverage and try to compete all the way through the down.
Last two? Is that more of an adjustment for the offensive line or the skill
I wouldn't call it an adjustment as much as that's what we've seen show up organically, just with how these guys are. Yeah, they're exhausting their progression. They're playing with good rhythm and timing, but if it does break down, or they, to avoid the coverage sack, the old saying, the coverage sack. Hey, get out and try to extend and see if we can uncover. I mean, we hit Aaron Jones. Sam did. Down in the red zone. I think we hit Johnny Munn a couple times, or had a chance at him down in the red zone. And that's where, red zone scoring, to throw the ball in the end zone with the condensed field, you're going to need a few of those. And certainly it's been a real positive seeing those guys make those plays, but not force them, not preemptively decide any which one way they're going to operate. It's at the end of exhausting a progression, 2 hands on the ball security in the pocket, moving up and out to attack and try to make a play, and saving us from any negatives, because we experienced a lot of negatives last year. So whether it's ball security, decision making, how I'm holding it in the pocket, ball carriers, how they're holding it, penalties, we're trying to be a disciplined, sharp outfit that just plays good football and let the plays come to you. And if that ends up being how we score, nobody will be more excited about it than me. Yeah.
I'm just curious if your mindset as you move through camp and do all the things that you're going through now, is that in any way on your mind, part of your mindset, anything that you're thinking about here as you move forward?
No, I've learned, I've took some questions from this group about, what I've learned since day one on this job. And I can tell you the one thing is, you do not have time, energy, or anything like that to worry about things that are outside of your control. And I've, got a full-time gig here where I got to focus on these players, these coaches, and making sure we're having ourselves the best training camp we've ever had here, which will hopefully lead into a successful season. But, I'm very much focused on the task at hand and doing my job every single day, looking for any way I can be better for this organization and this team. Thanks.